going on YouTube? Welcome back to the third episode of the Cam Swap series. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. If you've been following the Cam Swap series, you'll know that I recently changed out my SNS 550 cam for a Cyclerama 480MT cam. I was able to wrap up the install late last night, so this morning I'm on my way from New Jersey to Levittown, Pennsylvania to Throttle City to have my bike dyno tuned once again. If you are in the New Jersey, Pennsylvania area and you'd like to have your bike dyno tuned, I highly recommend checking out Throttle City. Chuck Appenzeller is widely regarded as one of the area's best engine builders as well as dyno tuners. So, see you in a bit. So I just arrived. I'm here at Throttle City in Levittown, Pennsylvania. Darkness is about to get on the dyno tune with the CR480MT cam. So stay tuned. So this is the parts list from June 2022 when I first had Darkness dyno tuned. At that time, she had just gone from a 107 to a 124. The SNS 124 kit came with the SNS 550 cam. I was running stock heads, stock fuel injectors, stock intake manifold and throttle body, Fuelmoto jackpot 2-into-1-into-2 and made head pipe, along with SNS MK45 mufflers. I was also running the SNS Stealth air cleaner. So here's a look at the chart from 2022. And at that time, I was making 124 horses and 136 foot-pounds of torque. I also have to say, I really do like SNS Cycle as a brand. There are a lot of other manufacturers or parts resellers that will post inflated dyno sheets to get your attention and get you to buy their product, but not SNS. For example, these are marketing materials for their 124 kit off of SNS's website, and as you can see, the numbers that they advertised I was going to get are exactly what I got, and I really do appreciate SNS for that. So here's a look at the current parts list for Darkness, and these are the parts that were on the bike when it was just recently dyno tuned. I changed out the SNS 550 cam for the Cyclerama 480MT. I changed the stock 55mm intake manifold for a SNS supported intake manifold, and the exhaust is now a full Chromeworks Dominator. And so here's a look at the most recent dyno chart with the 480MT cam. And so Darkness is currently pulling 122 horses and 139 foot-pounds of torque. So at first glance, the difference between the two dyno sheets doesn't look very drastic. It shows I went down 2 horses and went up 3 foot-pounds of torque. But if you take a closer look at the two dyno sheets, you'll notice that there are still some similarities, but there are some major differences. One way in which the cams are alike is that they both produce max horsepower at just about 5,400 RPM. But this similarity to me doesn't really matter because I rarely ever cross 5,000 RPM when I'm actually riding. Now where there is a big difference in the dyno sheets is where the max torque comes on. The SNS 550 had the max torque coming on at 4,100 RPM, and now the CR480MT reaches max torque at 3,100 RPM. And at a closer glance, you can see what my real problem with the SNS 550 cam was. Below 2,800 RPM, the bike was basically flat. It didn't really have much. And to get to the max torque of 136 foot-pounds, I had to get to 4,100 RPM. But now with the CR480MT cam, the bike instantly comes alive just about 2,300 RPM. And then max torque is achieved at about 3,100 RPM and holds up to about 4,500 RPM. What's more impressive to me is that the same torque I was getting with the 550 cam at 4,100 RPM, about 136 foot-pounds, I am now getting with the 480MT cam at just about 2,400 RPM, and that's a very big difference.
Okay, so first the obvious. The 480 cam doesn't thump or lope as hard as the 550 cam. And yes, the bike is overall more quiet, but from a touring standpoint, that's not a bad thing. And I like the fact that there's a lot less valve train noise. But then again, that's to be expected. You're going from a high lift cam to a low lift one. Of course, there's going to be a difference in sound. The main positive, I am completely 100% loving having all that low RPM range torque. The bike, if anything now, it feels like a hot rod. It did take me some time to get adjusted to the difference of changing gears with the 480 cam. I felt like I was letting out the clutch and it was kind of herky-jerky, but I wasn't really like smoothing it out. So that took me some time to get to. But, within an hour, I was able to kind of be conscious of it and not have the bike feel so jerky. And to be honest, I remember when I first got into modding a couple of years ago, it felt like the whole culture or the whole scene revolved around what are your horsepower numbers. I mean, let me give you an example. At that time, I had a stage 2 first done on Darkness. And what I went with was the 465 torque cam. And it was a great peppy little cam. I had no issues with that cam. But my problem was once I got it on the Dyno tune and I saw that it only had like 92 horses and I see everybody else with 130 horses, I was like, felt almost a peer pressure to soup my bike up more than it already was. And that's what led me to stage 3. And now that I've tweaked the cam situation, it's definitely more suited to my riding style. You don't have to have 140 horses to enjoy your bike. And that's kind of the point. That's what I'm getting at. You don't have to ride anybody else's ride except your own. You should be out here doing what makes you happy. These bikes are great bikes. They perform well even in stock form. You can go across the country on one of these bikes in stock fashion. So it's absurd to think that you have to drop all this money to get a stage 4 whatever. And look, if that's your thing, dope, do it. I'm all for that. I'm enjoying the hell out of my 124. But you don't have to. Don't feel peer pressure or don't feel the need to have to compete with the world and take your bike to a level that you probably don't even need it to be. That's the moral of this story. If you haven't already, please subscribe, keep the channel going. I'm having a good time making this content, and it's good connecting with you guys and showing you guys stuff that I do so that hopefully you can benefit. Also wanted to let you know that if you are going to be at Ocean City Bike Week this year, there's a good chance that Darkness is going to be there too. Ocean City 2024 Bike Week this year, Darkness in effect. If you're planning on going and you want to meet up, hit me up. I should be rolling with a familiar group of guys. Until next time, this is your boy CJ. Thank you so much for coming with me on this journey, and I'll see you out there on tube. Peace.